Hello everyone. This is going to be your mid-month mini update for November of 2025. This is an all signs reading. It's recommended to watch your sun, rising, moon, and any other placements that you have in any particular sign. You could also look at some other astrological placements if you vibe with that or resonate with it. Also, cross-watchers welcome. This is going to be a oracle card, and then we're going to clarify with 3 tarot. So it's sort of a mini shorter reading. But we do have the full month reading is still up on my YouTube channel, Rock and Roll Prophetess. So if you want to go more detail for the month, we can look over there. If you enjoy my content, please do hit that like and subscribe. It's highly appreciated. And if you need to reach me, I'm at vickieverlie.com. Do not be fooled by imposters. I'm not messaging you on social media or anything like that. It's rampant on YouTube. The featured reading we have at this time is the 2026 year ahead reading. So I do these every year. It's the most popular reading of the year. We go into all the astrology for the upcoming year as it pertains to you specifically, and then we do a 4-quarter tarot reading and even pull an animal totem. So it's always the most popular reading. If you haven't got yours and you would like to, head over to my website and you can order yours today. All right, now we're going to dive right into the sign by sign. It'll be displayed down here in the bottom. So even if I accidentally say the wrong sign, whatever's displayed here in the bottom is absolutely the sign that is being read. Sometimes I misspeak, and my guides and I all know that what we're talking about, okay? Whatever's here, this is who we're reading for. Starting with the sign of Aries. For the second half of November of 2025, what is the Oracle card message from the Holy Hamza cards for Aries friends? Flux. Well, Flux is card 6. If you want to dive in a little closer, zoom in on some of those backgrounds. Somebody said it's not visible on camera. I realize it's not that visible on camera, but you can see it. You can see it if you actually have the deck in your hand. You can read these words. Okay, but fluxes, things are in flux. Things are shifting, things are turning. Shifting, passage, transition. Now this is my deck that I've created. So what I'm reading are words that I actually wrote. I'm not just reading from some random book by somebody else. These are actually my words, but I just don't have all 50 cards memorized. Okay. The magic hour is upon you, a powerful time of creation. The tween time is that magical moment when things are in flux, between light and dark, wake and sleep, day and night, where one world abuts unto another. It is possible to transition into another timeline, another way of being, another reality. In a world where magical creatures make themselves known and are available to help you in your endeavors. As you drift off to sleep, set your intentions as your soul transitions from the physical world off to the land of Nod. If your life seems to be in flux, steer your visioning to the highest possible outcome and live your dreams now. Well, it's interesting that you would get the flux card. Now we're going to clarify with 3 tarot as well, because things are in flux. The 2 big planets of Saturn and Neptune were in your sign, and then they retrograded out back to Pisces, and then they're going to be retrograding back in. So you are on the border. You are in that flux time frame or flux zone. The flux zone. There we go. There's another band name, Flux Zone. It almost sounds like the Flecktones, so Bella Fleck and the Flecktones. So what could I be? The Rock and Roll Prophetess and the Flux Tones. Or what did I say? Flux, I already forgot. All right, Aries, let's get your 3 cards for the second half of November of 2025. 1, 2, 3 cards for our Aries friends. We have 10 of Cups. That's nice. I need to cut these, get these out of the way better. Ace of Wands and the Justice card. Well, it's very interesting to me. Of course, Aries, you get to go first. You get that going first thing, but there's always going to be a little bit of adjustment. I feel like I have to zoom in a little bit today. I'm going to turn the camera a little bit this way, and I'm going to zoom in there. That's much better, huh? Yeah, so it's interesting. Here we were talking about, it's in between the last part of the Pisces energy and the first part of the Aries energy. And what comes up here is the Ace of Wands. Talk about the first part of the Aries energy. Well, it's an Ace of Fire, which is that's your energy, the fire energy. But also 10 is the most. And it's interesting also too that the 10 of Cups, and Cups represents water, And Ace of, so that's the end of the water era, you know, where those couple of planets in that water energy, the Neptune and the Saturn, and then we're moving into the new fire energy. Of course, it's currently in the water. It went back into the water just this month. One of them did, I think, or no, it was Uranus went back into Taurus this month. But it's just recently in these fall or autumn, you know, months, the end of this year, this last quarter of this year, where these things have been happening. So we are in the flux time. So if you feel like you're a little bit muddled back, but you can work with that energy. 10 of Cups, you can, you know, bring great happiness and joy, actually. It's a really favorable card. It's known as the marriage card, even. I mean, some people might be getting married, and you might be, justice is here, so you may be, you know, going to the courthouse. Going to the chapel, and we're gonna get married. Yeah, so some of you might be going down and getting married, or somebody might be. But the other thing is, I want to stick with these two for a minute because I feel like it really ties into the energy that's happening and the flux card that was the first card out that sort of set the tone for the reading. So as it goes back into the water energy, Cups is water, and that's water on this card caught my eye, the water and the bubbling on the bottom here. So it's as if, you know, you're going back into that dreamy time, and the card even talks about when you go into the dream time. And the reason is that because it's your in-between wake and sleep. You have that, you're in that tween time, that consciousness. So as these planets have moved back into Pisces for you, start, you know, planning and dreaming and visualizing and working with your dream energy, working with your spirit guides, working with the meditation. And Mercury is retrograde too, so we're all going, you know, backwards or within. And then what bursts forth over the horizon is the sun, which is fire. It's a big giant fireball, literally. You know, it's fire. And it rules over Aries, which is a fire sign too. So as we get into, I feel like this is, I mean, it's intended for this last part of November, but it's really talking ahead to the beginnings of next year, as we get back into all this fire sign, when those planets move back into your sign even. And you're going to be unveiling the new you, and this fire energy is really going to be bursting forth at this time. Now, justice is here, so for some it could be an actual justice situation, you know, a legal matter, signing of papers, contracts, all that good stuff. But also, it's karmatic justice. Justice does carry that energy too. And with the 10 of Cups and with the way the planets are, it is like you are finishing up this big karmic cycle. And the other thing is, not Neptune, but I'm trying to say three things at once here. It's not Neptune, but it's Pisces. Saturn is still in Pisces. It retrograded back into Pisces, the water energy like we're talking. But it actually is going to go direct this last part of November on the 27th. So it's the last degrees of Pisces, and it's gonna be, you know, starting its journey back toward the light, or back toward your, you know, planning itself back into Aries and starting. You are the starter of the new cycle, Aries. You are the beginning of the zodiac, Ace. You are number one. You are number one. Hey. All right, Aries. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget about that year ahead reading. Time's running out on that. If you haven't got yours and you want to, only available to the end of the year. If you want a more in-depth reading, just a general reading, go head over to my channel, because there are a more in-depth monthly reading. This is just a mini update. And you can check out, I have Patreon and all the kinds of other stuff. You can find it with links in the description. Next, we're going to move on to the sign of Taurus. See, what I do, I notice people keep pulling, I watch other readers with, sometimes I see that they pull the same oracle card. Once I use one, I put it aside. I don't know if that's, but I do. So I always want to make sure that everybody gets a different message. I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's the way I do things. So I always, when I've done it one sign, I'm doing these all signs readings. Of course, in a personal reading, it wouldn't be like that. If I'm sitting here doing year aheads all day, you know, they're going right back in the deck, and you know, they may come out more than once. But I always set them aside so that that was Aries card. Now this is going to be Taurus's card for the second half of November 2025. Taurus, Sun, Rising, Moon. Anybody that's watching. Messages, which is Mercury, which is retrograde. When I saw it came out, and I saw that old school if you want to look at some of the words and you can see them, go for it. This old school telephone thing. I heard that old tune. Telephone line, give me a sign. Na, 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 na. I'm a little off on the end there. I think that's ELO. Oh, telephone line. Give me a sign. Ooh, I'm off a lot, but if you've never been here, my guides do come in with these songs. But so, yeah, I mean, you might want, I don't even know the meaning of that song. I've heard it, of course. But yeah, telephone line. I mean, we don't, well, we use our phones, but we use it for different things. It's not like, you know, it's not like we really talk on our phones all that much anymore. But, you know, maybe if there's something, a message is coming through on your phone. What a shocker. What a great, man, what a prediction, huh? Sometime in the second half of November, a message is going to come through on your phone. Hold on to your seats there, Taurus. I know, I was going to say I'm just joking, and I heard I'm just joshing ya. So the guides are definitely showing up with their old school references. I lost my ring. I'm so bummed. I was grabbed a load of laundry and put some clothes away, and I lost my favorite G-clef pinky ring. I'm so miffed. Mercury retrograde. Maybe it'll turn up. Okay, send some energy that my ring will turn up if you guys have a minute. It's my favorite ring. It's a little tiny G-clef. I love it. Okay, one of my favorites. Messages, text, Mercury communication. Well, like I said, Mercury is retrograde as of the 9th. News is coming quickly. Auspicious plans unfolding. The message card encompasses all modes of communication, both past, present, and future. Texting, direct messaging, FaceTime, Zoom, phone calls, and the like. We live in such a fast-paced world with no signs of slowing down. This card may indicate the time is right to reach out to that important contact to keep the favorable response get the favorable response you're hoping for. Keep a watchful eye on your inbox for important messages that may be coming your way. Communications of all kinds are favored when this card makes an appearance. Now, it's interesting of that whole thing when I was reading that this fast-paced world and no signs of slowing down. Uranus has also earlier this month moved back into your sign. That's Uranian energy. You know, all these satellites and all this other stuff. This is Uranus, you know, and you've been dealing with this for like 8 years. So you've got this one more blast of Uranus energy in your sign. But, you know, and with Mercury retrograde, you know, it could be things from the past. You know, maybe that something from the past that it's this finishing up time frame. Something from the past that occurred even over the last 8 years. Okay, let's go ahead and get 3 cards for our Taurus, Sun, Rising, Moon. Got the 4 of Wands. They make it look like a conflict, but that's actually a really good card here. The Magician, nice. And the 10 of Cups, again, 2 times with the 10 of Cups this mid-month reading. Well, you've got a beautiful reading here. Somebody might be getting married. It's funny, I got the marriage in the last reading, too. I was singing that Going to the Chapel came through. But when you get, either of these cards alone don't necessarily mean a marriage, although the 10 of Cups is known as the marriage card. But the 10 of Cups is just great happiness, elation. The 10 is the most happy you could possibly be, right? And then the 4 of Wands over here, that's, you know, it could be moving, it's changing homes, it's creating a nice environment in your home environment, being happy, and just having this peaceful, nice, beautiful happiness environment. But sometimes this could be marriage or a relationship getting, and that diamond, look at that diamond. And, you know, in modern day, I was just talking about losing my ring too, right? But the diamond is, you know, the engagement ring, the whole thing. You know, in our culture anyway, Western culture, not all cultures. So some of you, maybe you're going to hear, maybe you're getting proposed to, or you're going to get a message from, you know, somebody that wants to marry you or something like that. The message, whatever it is really happy. Maybe you find out you got the house. Maybe you find out you got the job, but you have to move. Maybe you find out you got the job and you're able to work at home, and that just, you know, makes you really, really happy. Because here's the other thing, the Magician, too, is being really empowered. The Magician is the major arcana in this spread. And the major arcana is always these higher forces are at work. And the Magician is this empowered energy, and it's talking about, sometimes, you know, we've got this 4 of Wands and we've got this Magician. You know, Magician can be having a home-based business, especially paired with the 4 of Wands. So some of you may be starting a home-based business, or maybe you're getting some messages and clients that are starting to pick up for you. Or maybe you're going to get that message from somebody from the past, because we've got the Uranus going back into your sign. We got the Mercury retrograde. You know, maybe you approached somebody a while back and now you're going to finally get the news and you're just over the moon. You're very happy. Ten of Cups is very, very happy. And you're feeling happy, you're feeling overjoyed, and you're feeling empowered by messages that is coming. You know, that telephone line by ELO is still playing in my head, so somebody might want to look that up. And where am I putting these cards? Oh boy, Mercury retrograde. You know what else has happened? My car's dead. I went out yesterday and my car wouldn't start. It's either going to be the battery or it's going to be, I hope it's just the battery. I'm charging it now. I'm going to take it to the place and find out. It might be something else, so like an alternator. I hope not. All right, don't worry about that, Taurus. If you want to get your year ahead, check it out. Hit the like and subscribe. It's always appreciated. And next we're going to move on to the sign of Gemini. Gemini. Well, talking about Uranus, Uranus moved out of your sign. You had a little taste of it, and now it's back in Taurus. And it's going to come back into your sign also next year. But I feel like Gemini, you're better equipped to handle Uranus in your sign than Taurus. Because it's kind of in your vibe. You're already quick, you know, everything's moving quickly. Where Taurus is like to take things slow. The other thing is, of course, the Mercury is retrograde now officially, and Mercury is your ruling planet. So you guys often will feel those Mercury retrogrades more than others. But what is the universe? What's the message for Geminis for the second half? You got the wish card. Can't beat that. The wish card simply states your wish is coming true. If you want to pause the video and zoom in on some of those background words, if you can see them. People say you can't see them. I know it's hard to see on camera, but you can see them. If you want to work with my deck, you can find the information below. You can see them. And even me, and I wear glasses, you know, I have reading glasses and stuff, and I can see it. Without breaking out my magnifying glass, which I always have nearby. I have a couple of them. So if I can see it without my magnifying glass, you guys can see it too. Oh, well, the wish card. Yeah, I was already shuffling. The wish card is simply that. I mean, it's very much akin to the Nine of Cups in the tarot. I didn't make it the number 9 card. That's not a coincidence. It was, you know, right in there with the wish card. Success, fruition, attainment. Your wish is coming true. A time of great abundance. This card signifies a definite yes to your question when it shows up in the spread. Thank your lucky stars and count your blessings, which are many. You are on a roll and all the gifts keep coming. Make a wish and trust that the universe has got your back, for you are aligning, and it's aligning with divine synchronicity. Success, fulfillment, happiness, and satisfaction. Wonderful things are unfolding in your life. Enjoy. Well, that's wonderful, isn't it? Okay, 1, 2, 3 cards for Gemini. We have the Four of Cups, followed by the Hermit, and finally the Ten of Coins, which is the Ten of Pentacles. Well, you had a nice reading here too. We're getting some good readings this second half so far. You know, when I looked at that Hermit, of course it's his light or his lantern or whatever, but it looked exactly like a quartz crystal to me. So some of you, maybe you're going to be working with some quartz crystals, or if you're not, maybe you would want to. And I would actually, based on what I'm seeing here, and I don't have one in here. Oh, I do have a couple here. Here we go. You know, I would actually work with the, you know, I forget what you call this kind. You know, the kind that's a stick like this. Not necessarily, like I have other ones, for instance, you know, that have been carved round, or there's different, I would work, what it looked like to me was this, you know, the wand, I guess you would call it. So if, I feel like for the Geminis that might come into, you know, help you out. But this is communing with your guides and spirits, and you could really get some downloads and information. You know, that's one of the things about the Mercury retrograde. It's like it can be going into your subconscious mind or communing with your higher guidance and your higher spirits and stuff. Now, it's interesting, I was going to say, but we have a 9 and a 10. We've got 2 9s and a 10. So maybe those numbers are significant to somebody, but I feel like it means, you know, things are going in order. Now, 10 of Coins, that's the big money card. That's the most money. Somebody could be making you a big offer. You could have some kind of a big offer coming through, because the Four of Cups can be an offer, and it's a wish come true. Now, if that's the case, especially if it's, you know, 10 of Coins, if you're dealing with some major, you know, coin, basically some major money, some major that diamond again. The diamonds, well, I guess there must be diamonds on this deck. That was getting my attention in the last reading. Well, that one looked like a quartz and a diamond, which to the naked eye are not that different. They're both clear stones, you know. But anyways, if somebody's making you some big offer and there's going to be some big money deals going down during Mercury retrograde, you know, this hermit, well, this hermit could mean maybe you want to wait because the hermit steps back. But my first initial instinct was saying, you know, the hermit is like talking to that wise counsel in the real world, not just your spirit guides and angels. You know, it could be like, you know, a lawyer or some sort of advisor that knows about these matters, whatever it might be. You know, talk to a financial advisor or a real estate person, or you know, whatever you're dealing with. It's going to be different for everyone. Yeah, but that crystal is really, for some of you, if you are, because even the smoke coming out of the genie bottle, it's like going right up to that dude up there, the hermit, and his cloak here looks sort of southwest. I almost said Navajo, but I don't want to misquote. But it looks southwest, you know. So maybe some of you are even going to go to like Sedona or somewhere in the southwest, you know, and you know, do some kind of meditation retreat or something like that. But this whole thing with the crystal thing, if you're trying to, if you really have a wanting to do more communing with your higher self, maybe by working with some crystals, that could really enhance that. Okay. All right. Well, hey Geminis, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to check your rising and moon if you want to get in on my 2026 year ahead reading. Time's running out for that. Most popular reading of the year. It's big time, you know, you get everything. You get the astrology, you get the tarot, you get the animal totems. So it's kind of my gift to you, but it's also sort of to raise funds for some different things. That I need a new computer and different things too. So if you want to get in on it, just a reminder that it is available, and I have other readings available too. Have a great second half of November, and next we're going to move on to the sign of Cancer. Well, hello Cancerians. Now, you're going to be involved in this big grand trine thing that's going on. I am actually going to do next week I will do another video just on that. Because there's this whole big grand trine. I'll talk more about it in the next video. But this could be a really lucky time. Suffice to say, even though Jupiter's retrograde in your sign, and you know, Mercury's going to be retrograding to the spot, and Sun, you know, Sun's not retrograding, but... I think Venus is even retrograding, maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of even though there's a lot of retrograde stuff happening, I really feel for you guys, especially because the Jupiter is in your sign, man, you could really have some beautiful vibes and some beautiful energy, especially moving towards like the end of the, if you're in the United States, Thanksgiving, and, you know, home, family kind of stuff that you know, you just really thrive on that stuff. That could really be jamming for you this second half of the month of November. Let's get our oracle card for our Holy Hamza for Cancer. Soar. That means you're about to take off. Yeah, well, I was tuning into the whole home and family thing because I looked down and I saw that Thanksgiving wish thing. Take a look at the card if you want to get in on some of those background words, zoom in. Maybe get a message. I know sometimes it looks hard to see on camera, but if you want to work with this deck, you absolutely can see those background words. They are faint for a reason. I wanted the main focus to be on the image. They're somewhat faint, but you can see them, you know. And I wanted them to be faint so it wouldn't be so obvious, so you could be more of a subconscious catch your eye kind of thing. That was deliberate, okay? Anyways, let's go ahead and soar. Usually it's ascending to new heights. Like now it's card number 28. Let me read what I wrote. I actually created the cards and wrote the booklet, of course, so, but I just want to read my own words here. Rise, triumph, transcend, ascending to new heights, leaving earthly concerns behind. Attune yourself to the subtle whispers of the wind. Do not fight against the stream. Instead, align yourself with the highest wave and allow the wind to carry you into the clear skies of tomorrow. Outside the stratospheres of the earthly plane, through the gateway of higher dimensional existence. When the smaller birds make a fuss, nipping at your tail feathers, your spirit calls you to fly above the chaos below. Leaving them in your dust, you soar to a higher realm of being, beyond the chatter of daily life. This card can be an omen of great success. You are rising higher than ever before, reaching new heights toward whatever you are striving for. Yes, it is a great card. Okay, let's go ahead and get 3 tarot to clarify. Well, you can use that Jupiter energy any way you want. You know, Jupiter could absolutely bring you success. We have the King of Cups. That is a representation of you, regardless of gender. And we have the Magician. Second time Magician's been out in that position. And it came out on the cut, of course. And then finally, the Death card. All right, well, death is only change. You know, doesn't mean anybody's dying. So, you know, sore, I think for many of you, you're just at the end. Because the Death card, you know, is something's ending. And the Magician is always the initiator, the beginning. You know, he's number 1. He stands on his own 2 feet. You know, this is a representation of you, as I've said. And, you know, you're visioning and you're thinking. You know, some of you may just be like, you know what, well, I feel like it is tied in some cases to home and family. You know, it could be this big success thing. Maybe you're finally going to say, take this job and shove it, I'm out of here. And I feel better than I ever have. You know, the Death card could be, you know, those heads on the ground, or I'm hearing heads are going to roll. You know, some of you might be just like, you know, you're cutting people. You know, you're just like, before you leave, you're going to tell them what you really think of them, or, you know, take them down, or, I mean, you don't have, I wouldn't advise doing that, but, you know, you might. But this guy who represents you over here, this is more of the dreamer. You know, he's the dreamer, and he's, you know, he's visioning, he's dreaming. It feels, though, like you've been visioning, you've been dreaming. And then the Magician is like, yeah, it's actually manifesting in the physical world. It's actually coming true. I'm actually going to get to do it now. I'm actually going to get to put boots on the ground and manifest it. The Magician is a master manifester. He is manifesting his ass off. You know, he's manifesting things in the real world here. So you're dreaming, and now the manifestation. But in order to soar, you're going to have to cut loose of some things with the Death card. There will be things that will be left behind. And just like this says, you know, he's soaring way above the world here, you know, because like the smaller birds that are nipping at your tail feather, you know. When I read that, and first time I looked at it again, I was thinking of the Jack Frost nipping at your nose came to mind from the Christmas song. But anyways, yeah, so some of you may be just saying, you know what, I'm not participating in this anymore. And with Thanksgiving, there could be some stuff like that too. I mean, maybe some of you might be like, you know what, I'm cutting next year, I'm going to go have Thanksgiving off by myself, I'm cutting my family off. But it's more about bringing it back to you. That's what I feel. You could say, you know what, I'm just not going to argue with Uncle Joe about politics or whatever. You know, he's from another generation. I'm not going to change his mind. I'm not going to let him drag me down into this state of being, you know, frustrated or irritated. I'm going to keep soaring and ascending, and he's looking up and dreaming my dream, and smells. This feels like he's smelling. So there could also be some kind of thing with smells. I mean, my regular viewers know I'm really sensitive to smells. But it might be sometimes. The other day I got a whiff of a pipe. And it was just driving, so it must have come out of somebody else's car. But right away, my grandfather, you know, my grandfather always smoked a pipe. So, you know, these smells, like, they remind us of people. They remind us of people, places, and things, my guides are saying, and times, the times of our life, yeah. So a smell might take you back to something. But if it's taking you back in any way, it's only to recapture that which you already are, my guides are saying. So feeling really empowered, but, you know, there could be some things that are going to be cut loose at this time. Take advantage of that Jupiter. It's not going to be back for 12 years, you know, Cancer. So, and it's going to whip by in the first part of next year, and then it's gone. Oops, the card flew out. I'm going to let you see what it is, but I'm going to put it back in the deck. Oh, my face wasn't on camera, was it? That's part of my face on camera when I did that. Oh, I'll have to look later and cut it out, because I'm doing laundry. I'm in grubby today. I lost my ring. If anybody wants a sense of energy of my ring, I was doing laundry. It came off my favorite G clef ring. But anyways, I digress. Hey, Cancers, have a great second half. Don't make sure to tune into that Grand Trine energy reading that I'm going to do, because, man, does it pertain to you big time. I do talk about it in the full monthly reading, which is already on my channel if you want to check it out. If you want to get in on that a year ahead, please do head over to my website. It's the only way to order any of the readings or anything I offer. Don't be fooled by imposters. Next, we're moving on to Leo. Well, hello, Leo. Hello, Leo. Hello, Leo. Oh, Leo. Oh, 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 Leo. Oh, oh. My guides come through with some funny ones sometimes. Okay, let's go ahead and get a card for our Leo for the second half of November of 2025. What do we got? Impasse. Well, you know, we were just talking. Take a look at it. Now, I know on the camera sometimes the words look a little faint, but if you want to work with this deck, you can see the background words. Take a look. If you want to pause the video and check it out closely, let it, you know, let the words kind of pop at you. You don't have to. Okay, Impasse is card 39, and it says, dead end, stalemate, irresolvable. Do not proceed, end of the road. Stop, do not proceed. If you find yourself hitting a brick wall, the universe is sending you a message that you can go no further with this endeavor. To continue to try would only lead to further disappointment and frustration. Know when to lay down. Do not view this as a defeat, rather a course correction. The universe is guiding you in a different direction toward the best possible outcome. Well, yeah, like I was just talking about maybe with some of these relatives and people. A lot of times during these, we're moving into the holiday season, whether you're in the United States and do Thanksgiving or not, we're moving into the holiday season. You know, second half of November, we're in it, right? So, you know, we're going to be around, not only are we going to be around family members and people that we don't see that often, we're going to be around crazy ass people, you know, well, I guess a lot of people shop online now, but, you know, just this, everything's crowded and everybody's irritated and everybody's trying to get all their stuff, even in the grocery stores, you know. They're trying to get their food, and there's a lot of, you know, it's a lot. It can be I mean, Leos, you guys are so gregarious and so charming. Usually that kind of stuff doesn't really rock your apple cart too much, but you know, there may be some things where you just say, you know, and you're fixed. You are a fixed sign. And so when you've said enough, you've had enough. When you put your foot down, you're done. But I don't want to be talking about all that. Let's see what we can get here for some clarification and what's some additional information for the second half of November for Leos. Oh, Leo. Oh, oh. High Priestess. Intuition. Followed by, is that the Magician again? Are you kidding me? The Magician keeps coming out in that position, and he's coming out on the cut. This is not the top card, you know. And then finally we have the Seven of Cups, visioning your life into what it wants to be. You know, it's interesting that you have not only the High Priestess, but the Seven of Cups as well, because they can and do have a similar vibe. They're both about going within. A lot of people don't like the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups gets a bad rap, I feel. You know, it's thinking about, oh, you're pissing your life away, you're just daydreaming, you're not doing anything. You know, while Mercury's retrograde and all this stuff's going on here, it's not a bad time to do that, but I look at it as visioning. You know, you're visioning your life, you're creating it. Visualization is a very important part of everything. Especially, I feel like some of you who are creatives, with the Leo, many of you are, you know, you've got to visualize it. You've got to try it out first. Imaginate. It's using your imagination. What you're really doing is imagining, okay? Think of it that way. With the High Priestess energy, you're tuning into you know, your own intuition, your own guides, you know. It's also really respecting yourself. The Magician and the High Priestess, 1 and 2, the first two cards of the major arcana here. Things are moving in order, things are progressing. It's also, well, I guess the High Priestess is the Magician's partner. I was going to say she was the Emperor's partner, but that would be the Empress, clearly. The Moon is grabbing me here, and there's a Moon on this card too. So let's see, there will be on the 20th, we will have that new Moon in Scorpio, the late degrees of Scorpio. So that could be really powerful for you. Or at any time that you're just happen to look up and notice the Moon. It doesn't have to be on these specific dates, you know. If you look up and notice that Moon, get in there. Get into that vibe. Don't walk away. Don't walk away, Renee. If you've never seen my videos, my guides come through with these songs a lot, and a lot of them are kind of silly, and sometimes they have a lot of meaning, but sometimes, I don't know. Anyways, so here's what I feel. You're doing the visioning, you're doing the imagining, you're going within, you're creating your reality, you're visioning that reality the way you want it to be, and then the Magician, then you're going to go for it. Then you're going to bring it out. And see, something's not working, you're going to have to make you're going to have to do this redirect. You've been taken on a detour, perhaps, right? So now you've got to regroup. You got to revisualize. Well, I was going to do this way, but now I can't. So now, how am I going to do it? What's the next step? And know that, especially with the Magician and the High Priestess, these major arcana, that there's magic happening. That you were rerouted. It was no accident that you were rerouted. Something better is coming down from the universe here. And they're going to show you what it is if you're willing to go, not to be sitting here bitching and brewing and stewing about, oh, this thing didn't happen for me, or I can't go the way I want to go. Another avenue is opening, another portal is opening, they're saying. And the Magician, you're going to walk right through it, empowered, ready for action, fresh and new, number one. It's a new path, it's a new day. All right, Leo, well, hey, I have a much longer, more in-depth reading on my website, on my YouTube channel. Check it out. If you want to get a hold of me for readings or whatever, the 2026 reading is only available for a limited time. Check that out. All available only through my website. Please don't be fooled by those imposters out there on social media. If you can, hit that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I've been steadily losing subscribers for a long time. I've lost over 10,000 subscribers for over the last several years. I guess in some cases it's YouTube scrubbing the bots and whatever, but check if you're subscribed. If you're not, hit that button. It costs you nothing. I appreciate it much. All right, Virgo. Now you're another one, like I told Gemini, you are ruled by Mercury. So Mercury going retrograde as of the 9th. I'm actually recording it the day after. You feel it. You're one that feels it, but we don't have to let it ruin our life. I'm hearing, it's just a shot away. Whoa, just feel it. It's just a shot away. It's just a shot away. Oh, sisters. It's just a shot away. There you go. All right, Virgo. Second half of November, 2025. Bloom. When I pulled the Bloom card, if you want to pause the video and look at it a little more detailed, you may get a message from some of the background words. But when I pulled this Bloom card, I heard bloom where you're planted. So you can make a difference right where you're at, Let's see. Let's get some more. We'll get 3 more cards from the tarot. I don't want to read too much. I want to read the card, though. This is card number 10. By the way, this is a deck that I've created. I wrote this booklet, so I'm not just, a newbie reading out of a book. I wrote, these are my words, okay? Thrive, prosper, flourish. Cultivations blossoming, beauty ever abounding. What you have been cultivating is beginning to bear fruit. You are shining in the sun, and the positive energy you are exuding is the fuel for all the beauty that surrounds you at this time. The beautiful summer garden hosts a variety of blooms, and so it is with your life. More than one area of your life is coming into fruition. Not the time to be the wallflower. This is the time to bask in the glory of all you have created, all you've nurtured and tended. You Virgos, you do that. You nurture and tend. Others are attracted to your beauty and grace and this wonderful moment. Wow. This magic moment. I gotta write that down. I'm gonna be doing some day sets at some nursing homes, I think. I need some good oldies that are simple. Excuse me for 1 second. This magic moment. Because if I don't write it down, it's gone forever. In one ear and out the other, as they say. Okay. 3 cards from the tarot for Virgo, Sun, Rising, and Moon. This magic moment, boom, boom, ba-doo, 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 doo, 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 lasting forever. Queen of Swords, air sign energy. The 5 of Cups. And the 8 of Wands. Things are going to start moving quickly. Yeah, see, it's interesting. Even the Bloom card. It almost seems like, I wouldn't even think it would be a Mercury retrograde, because this is saying like things are going to be moving really forward quickly. Well, it'll be direct, when will it be direct? No, not till early next month, I think. Yeah, it's not going to, it's not, second half of November, it will still be, the whole time it'll be retrograde. But let's see here. Queen of Swords, air sign energy, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, could be something dating back with the retrograde to the time of Libra, which would have been October. So maybe something from the time of October back, an offer or something. The Five of Cups can be something that you gave up on. So there's a something or someone who might be an air sign person, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. All of a sudden, this really feels like, you're getting that news. You're getting that news. And Eight of Wands, even though they have it crisscrossed like that, crisscross will make it jump, jump. It's really a card of things are moving forward, moving forward, moving forward. So I know Mercury's retrograde. Maybe that's why this deck, it can even be like that. You want to move forward, but there's a little bit of this and that. But if I've said time and time again, if stuff comes up, your time to bloom, you're blooming now. Something's coming up, maybe from the past with the retrograde. Sometimes you can't put it off. Sometimes you have to act quickly. Act quickly with a mighty force, I'm hearing. That's from a definition from one of my decks. I can't think of which one. I think it's the hawk card, actually. I saw 2 Cooper's hawks at the library, 2 of them, and they were making a big squawk, and they landed in the tree and popped me. I tried to get some video, but the way the clouds were, made it really dark and hard to see. But the good old, that app that I use, I can't even think of the name of it, the Merlin app, confirmed that they were Cooper's hawks. But yeah, so act swiftly with a mighty force. Sometimes you just got to do that, but here's the good thing, if it is something from the past, and that's, during Mercury retrograde, that's the gift of Mercury retrograde a lot of times. It can be something from the past that comes back. And then all of a sudden, it's on again, or it's back again. And it may even tie into this person for many Virgos. Hey Virgo, if you know that on my website, I keep saying my website, but on my channel I do have a much longer November reading. So if you haven't checked that out already, do check it out, because there's a lot more detail in that. If you want to get in on my year ahead reading or any of the other things that I offer, I have other readings and astrology ports that are affordable and all kinds of stuff. Head over to vickieverlie.com. Don't be fooled by social media imposters, okay? If you like the content, please do hit the like and subscribe. It's highly appreciated. And then Libra, you're up next. All right, Libra, well, with Mercury retrograde, all that good stuff. Luckily, nothing is really in your sign. You may not get the whole brunt of any of this, but everybody's affected by everything. We're all swimming in that same soup, so, that being said, you never know. You will feel some of it. And you might have Scorpio in your chart, or, everybody's got other stuff. Nobody's 100% any one place. I've never come across anybody that's been 100% everything. Oh, my mom almost is. My mom almost was. She was almost everything in Leo, except she had something in Cancer. I can't remember what, but man, she was a mega Leo. But anyways, Libra. Libra, Sun, Rising, Moon, Cross Watchers, everybody who wants to know about Libra energy. This is going to be the second half of November. Cleanse. Well, that's a good thing to do while Mercury is in retrograde, by the way. I see it's not just Mercury in retrograde. There's a lot of planets in retrograde. If you want to zoom in, pause the video, and look at the background words, you may be able to get a message. I know it doesn't always show up that great on the screens, but in person you can see the background words, okay? Yeah, but there's a whole bunch of planets in retrograde. It's not just Mercury. All right, let's get 3 cards to clarify. Oh, this is card number 18. Let me read it first. But you get the gist. It's cleansing. It's doing smudging and all that stuff. Clear, smudge, unburden. Purge yourself of excessive clutter. See your way clear. The cleanse card is calling you to clear away the litter in your life on all levels, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. When we remove all the extraneous toxins that we have been polluting our environment, you are making space for new things to come into your life. This may be a good time to do a thorough cleaning of your environment. The burning of sage, the use of salt, and even sound can be used to further cleanse your field. These type of ceremonies may be more powerful when performed on the full moon or right after. Well, we are going to have a full moon on the 20th, so there will be a full moon at this second half of the month. So let's take a look. 3 more cards for Libra for the second half of November mini check-in reading. We have the Hierophant, followed by Strength card. 2 major arcana so far. And the Star. 3 major arcana. 3 of 3. Wow. You don't see that very often either. Well, higher forces are clearly at work when you've got 3 major arcana cards showing up here, okay? And this whole cleanse thing, you know, it's talking about cleanse. I shouldn't have moved that. There we go. I have a little bit of glare. Yeah, this whole cleanse thing, it feels like, you know, whatever you're searching for, or vying for, or trying for, your guides are around. I mean, they're around. They're around trying to help you. They're trying to get through. So maybe you need to clear out some of the muddle, my guides are saying, in order to get through. Some of you belong to any, it could be a church. Maybe if you go to a church and you haven't been in a while and you do participate in religion, maybe you could get some solace or something, good energy come through the church. But it could even be, you know, a meditation group, or something, or even maybe a yoga class or something. But it feels like the group dynamic, there's going to be more, or join in some of these various, you know, there used to be that noon prayer around the world or whatever. You know, there's these various things. If you join in with the group, and I feel like you're going to get a lot of energy and a lot of download. Now for others, this could be a group right here in the physical world, but with the Star energy and the Hierophant, and this one really does look like a religious figure to me. You know, this looks like it came right off one of those cards. You know, in the Catholic Church they had these cards, icons or whatever. Strength is having strength and having patience. It's also finding that strength from within. It feels very much of an inward thing. Star is pouring down blessings on you. Star is filling your pools, and with good clean water. Once you've gotten rid of all this clutter and junk in there in your field, then Star is here pouring the beautiful clear waters into your life, into your environment, clearing out higher realm ideas, bringing through higher realm ideas, higher guidance, and higher guidance is really to light your way, is what my guides want to say. Yeah, I like that. You know, that sun energy is standing out to me. And it could be Leo, but right away I want to say it might be after the 21st, when the sun changes sign and moves into the fire sign of Sagittarius, actually, which also is 9th house, rules over religion and stuff like that, spiritual happenings. So it looks pretty intense there, Libra. Do some cleansing and clearing, even if it's your own aura. Maybe even just sit in a tub or something like that. But you know, could be some really higher force energy coming in for you, getting some major blessings, downloads, rewards, etc. Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you want to get a more in-depth, head over to my channel, because I do the whole November reading is much more in-depth than this mini update, if you haven't already seen it. I have other readings on Patreon as well. If you want a personal reading, that's always going to be the best. And what the special that I'm running now is till the end of the year only, is the year ahead. All the readings, reports, all the stuff, books, decks, everything. Head to my website. I'm not going to be messaging you on social media. Those are total imposters. Please don't fall for it. Have a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate, and next we're going to move on to the sign of Scorpio. Well, hello Scorpio, you are another one. You are a big pivotal part of this grand trine. Again, I said I'm going to do a whole video, and I did talk about it quite a bit in the main monthly November reading. But just a quick recap, 17th, the sun in your sign fills in the grand trine exactly. 22nd, Mercury in your sign fills in the grand trine exactly. 26th, Venus in your sign fills in the grand trine exactly. So it could be super powerful for you. And these are all towards the end of the month, the 17th through the 26th. Well, let's get our Holy Hamsa for our mid-month update for our Scorpios. We have harvest. Yeah, you could be reaping the harvest for sure. Okay, if you want to pause the video and take a look, if we can get it to come into focus. A lot of people have commented that you can't see the background words that well. You can in real life if you want to work with this deck. But also, they're meant to be a little fainter because it's supposed to be like just pull on your subconscious mind. Of course, the visual photo imagery is the most the main part of the reading, the main focus of the cards. Okay, yield, reward, fruition. Let us feast and celebrate in our bountifulness. Well, in the United States, it's Thanksgiving, right? And happy birthday, too, if you're a late degree Scorpio, by the way. The season of autumn brings about the harvest, when we reap the rewards of all our hard work. That which we have tended and nurtured has ripened and is ready to be enjoyed. A time to gather up our yield and make ready for the upcoming rest of winter. The harvest can refer to a time of reaping rewards for your efforts, or perhaps a time of life when you can slow down and take stock of how far you've come on this journey thus far. There is beauty in every season on earth and every season of life. This may be a time of culmination, of reaching mastery, of burning your most brightly with the glorious colors of the autumn foliage. I hope you don't hear my dog whining in there. He's mad because I locked him out of the kitchen. I'm reading in the kitchen and I locked him out. I hope he's not coming through too strong. Shh. Well, we're going to get through this reading one way or the other, Scorpio, so just disregard that. He's fine. He's got his pillows and all his stuff to lay on in there. He's perfectly fine. He just misses me. He feels left out. Ooh, a card fell on the ground. Hold on. It might be about the dog, though. Is it? No, it's about you. We're taking it. Because the Empress. Here we go. Nice first start. Then I'll just stop and cut the next two. All right, let's see here. We got the Empress, then the Seven of Wands, and then lastly we have the Magician. Again, I mean, this Magician has been out, and it's interesting how much the Magician's been out, and we're in all this retrograde time frame, and the Magician is such a card of going forward, you know, and here he's been out. Boy, has he been out. Now, Seven of Wands. See, all the wand cards in this deck. I love this. This is a tattoo deck, I think it's called. I like this deck. There's so much cool imagery, but all the wand cards just look like that. Oh, I already know. The Seven of Wands is the card of the struggle. Hey, what you've been struggling for could really, you know, you could find a way free of it. Not the Empress and the Harvest card are both very similar cards. In the traditional tarot, the Empress is surrounded by all the cornucopia and the whole bit, you know. And it is this time of the year. And it's your time of year, Scorpio. That's what it is. And the 20th, we're going to have that new moon in your sign. So, wow, this is your manifestation time, especially right now. That new moon is guiding you forward. The Magician tells us that you have everything you need. Magician has all the skills. He's fully prepared. He's fully prepared to make magic and miracles happen. He's fully prepared. He has everything that he will need to further his endeavors, my guides are saying. Yes. The staffs are really standing out to me. She has a staff and he has a staff. Now that's, you know, I just said this Magician has been out like almost every sign. And this is the first time that staff has really stood out to me. So it could be some sort of, you know, a magic wand, a staff, you know, like I have these little, they're actually like hair things, but I use them for pointers, like little wands. But maybe there is something about that staff, or maybe it's even like a cane or something, or a hiking stick. Maybe some of you are going to go hiking, or I just can't, a microphone. It could be a microphone. I just heard, hey, good looking, we'll be back to pick you up later. Remember that from Mr. Microphone? That's an old school. That's an old school corny commercial that used to be on back in the day. But, you know, you've been up against struggles, and we know that. Scorpio, you know, I've said this before in the readings, and I have a lot of Scorpio on my chart. I'm Scorpio rising. I got Venus. I'm having my Venus return soon. I have Venus and Neptune, Scorpio. You know, I'm very Scorpionic. So I'm with you. But, you know, when you incarnate with a bunch of Scorpio stuff in your chart, you didn't take the easy path. You know, you took the hard path. You decided that you were going to pile it on. You were going to pile it on in this lifetime. Yeah, I can take it. I'm a tough Scorpio. I can take it. What else you got? You know? And but it gets tiring. Everybody gets tired. Everybody gets worn down. And Scorpio, you're no exception. This is a time when it feels like there could be a big renewal, where you're getting your strength back. That eagle is standing out to me so strong. And that's the highest expression of the Scorpio energy. The Scorpio has 3 expressions. The highest being the eagle, soaring above everything. And then there is also the stinging scorpion, and then there's the gray lizards, and they kind of just are in the muddle or drifting into the darkness a little bit. They can be off to the, off into the darkness. Or you could be that angry, stinging Scorpio that's going to fight everybody and hurt them. Or you could summon that energy and fly and soar and be the eagle. So this is the time to be the eagle. Even this depiction of the Empress, where she's got the wings. Normally there's not an eagle on the Empress card. It's a heart with the Venus symbol. Which, interesting that I would bring that up, even because the heart, the Venus, is in your sign, rather. What I was saying, that reason I kind of stumbled there for a minute, they have these like Roman numerals. And we're in the, this 1111 portal is happening, and the 1111 portal, 1111 portal, and all those ones lining up there caught my eye as I was talking. I already forgot what I was saying, because this just, my guys just really grabbed me. And even the repeating number here and the number 44, we've got double fours and all these digits lining up. So it feels like, things are lining up for you. Where you've had these struggles, there's ways to overcome it. The Magician has solutions. Now the Magician could be you, and I think it is a representation of you. I think the Empress is more the representation of you in this spread, honestly. But then we have the Magician, which is, they have solutions. I'm just going to say, this could be another person. This could be another person coming in who can work magic in your life, or has solutions, or is a go-getter, is a doer, When I was saying that, this rake was also standing out to me on here. So that rake is, you take that as you want. It's raking up the leaves, clearing away a bunch of stuff, getting things kind of organized, I would suppose. It looks like you're getting over some big hump here where you've had frustration. And again, those Grand Trine dates, I'm going to do a whole other video on it. And I did talk about it more in depth in the May, November video, which you can find on my channel. But I feel like that's going to really set things up for you in a lot of ways. Scorpio's been struggling for a while. I know, I hear you guys, and I feel it too. I've been struggling. And I feel like something's about to break wide open. And if it was ever going to break wide open for Scorpios, it would be on the Scorpio new moon and Scorpio season here, okay? And during this Grand Trine. So where you've had struggles, things are going to open up, and you're going to be that eagle energy. You're just going to be soaring so high, higher than you've been able to. That 7 of Wands feels like these are things that have kept you weighted down, and now you're ready to soar. Hey Scorpio, if you haven't got your year ahead reading, that's the special I'm running. It'll be only available till the end of the year. Check it out for yourself. Or you can order as a gift for somebody else. Just make sure that they're open to it. Nothing worse than, people order for another person and they poo-poo it and they're just like, they hate it and they don't like it. Well, I don't do the live readings anymore, but that used to happen, and they would just be fighting you tooth and nail. It's just like, well, normally I would say, well, why did you even order the reading if you were just going to fight and argue with me the whole time or try to prove me wrong? But, it makes sure if they're open to it, it's an awesome gift, and a lot of people do give them as a gift. Hey, if you like this reading, please do hit the like and subscribe. Next, we're going to move on to the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Well, Sag, happy birthday. As of the 21st, the sun is moving into your sign, but also Mercury is retrograding in your sign as well, so it's a little bit of everything. It's a mixed bag, as they say, right? Okay, let's go ahead and get a card for Sagittarius. Lineage. So that's talking about that family tree. Well, if you're in the United States this time of year, we do have to spend time with, we don't have to, but we tend to, we are spending time with a lot of our people, our lineage, our people. Check out the background words. You could have paused that video and look at them if you can see them and you want to, and you feel compelled to do so. People comment, you can't really see them, but, in real life you can. If you want to work with this deck, you can see them. Let's see here. Number 11. I'm talking about 11, and we get the 11 card. Heritage, ancestry, descendant. The family tree connects us to the past and carries us into the future. We are all connected to our roots through our family tree through our DNA. The ones who have left are still with us and show up in signs and symbols. The lucky penny found on the ground, the joyful chirping of the cardinal, the fluttering wings of the butterfly. Pay attention as they are sending us messages all the time. This card is a reminder to do your soul work of our ancestral healing. We all incarnate into families where we feel we can do the most good. Break the chains of negative patterning so that future generations may thrive. Yeah, we do. We do all do that, don't we? But we forget about it. We forget about it. Forget about it. All right, 3 cards for our Sagittarius, Sun, Rising, Moon, in this little mini update. We have a longer reading available over on my channel. If you want more details, or if you want even more details, you can always order a personal reading. So let's get 3 cards for our Sagittarius. Sun, Rising, Moon, anybody who has prominent Sag. The Empress came up in that position in the last reading, I believe. And this is on the cut. Okay, let's see here. 8 of Cups. That's the first time out for that one. And Ace of Cups, first time out for that one. Well, some of you are going to be traveling to see your family, for sure, I want to say, with the lineage card and the Empress. Because, you know, the Empress is the mother card also. Now, it could be your mother, you know, if she's living. But it could also be you as the mother. You know, maybe somebody's traveling or you're going to see your whoever. The 8 of Cups is that traveling card, traveling to a new location. It is also a card of leaving the past behind and moving on to new things. Some of you may be doing that. Maybe you're getting over a relationship and you're starting new, because the Ace of Cups is here. And that is a beautiful card of a new beginning in love, a new beginning of creativity, just very favorable, very positive things. I'm feeling somebody's going to find out about a sibling or somebody that they never knew about. I'm picking that up real strong for somebody. You're going to find out that you have I feel like a sibling. And maybe it's already been discovered, and like over the holidays this is going to be announced to the family. Hey, guess what? Dad had you've got some other siblings, and, you know, I've been talking to him. Do you want to meet him? Or maybe even your mother might say, hey, I never told you, but I gave up a baby for adoption before you were born. Or, you know, this is going to be coming up for some people. Or for others, I feel too, somebody's going to let it slip. This is somebody's old aunt or grandmother, somebody that's is maybe slipping a little bit mentally, and somebody's gonna blurt it right out. And maybe it's not the sibling thing, but it feels like it's some family secret, and it's gonna be a shocker. But she just, you know, she forgot it. It's like she's real. I feel like this is definitely a female. This is specific for somebody. But it's definitely a female, and she forgot it was a secret, or she just assumed everybody knows and something's getting blurred out. Or maybe with the Empress, somebody's going to be announcing they're pregnant. That could absolutely be too. With the Empress and the Ace of Cups, absolutely somebody could be saying, hey, we're pregnant, and then going to announce it to the family, and here the lineage, you know, continues on. Also be aware, though, with this lineage card, is being aware of those signs and symbols. Just yesterday, my car was Mercury retrograde. My car is dead. I have to get it fixed. So I took an Uber. I was on my way out the door, and of course the car wouldn't start. Blah blah blah. So I got to figure out if it's the battery or whatever it is. But so I took an Uber. I get in the Uber, and there's a freaking dime on the seat. Now I don't know if any of you have watched some of my other videos. Let's Talking to the Dead videos that I did earlier on. But ever as my brother's been gone for a long 20 years now, more than 20 years. But when he first passed away, if you're interested in the story, you can find it on my, it's the Talking to the Dead, or Signs from the Loved Ones. You can find it on my channel if you want to hear the whole in-depth story. But it boils down to, a long time ago, my brother, after he passed away, set up this precedence that when I find a dime, I know it's from him, okay? So, yeah, I used to find them all the time, and I still find them occasionally, but as we move more and more into digital currency with, you know, using cards, you don't see coins. Who cares? Do you even have any coins on you? I don't. I might have a couple quarters for parking meters or something, you know, or at certain grocery stores you got to put a quarter in the cart. You know, I keep a couple quarters in my purse, but who even has walks around? I mean, the point being, I haven't found a dime in probably a few years, probably more than, I would say pre-COVID, so maybe more than 5 years. I haven't found a dime in forever. And I get in this, I open the door to get in this Uber, and there's a dime laying on the seat. I was just like, wow. So I'm telling the driver the whole story, right? He's like, well, you can keep it. I'm like, oh, cool, thank you. But anyways, yeah, so finding those different things, finding those coins, getting those signs from those birds, butterflies, and stuff. And for some, when I said that, I feel like, you know, there's the, of course, every year for somebody, there's that empty seat at the table, right? Where that person isn't here this year, you know, and it's really, you know, you're missing them, but you might get that sign. You know, I feel like that's going to be a lot of it. But with the Empress and the Ace of Cups, these are all cups, even though Eight of Cups is moving on and moving away from stuff. This is all, you know, very much happy, love, you know, connection. This is some good energy for you guys, Sagittarius. And it's moving into your season after the 21st, so happy birthday, too, if you're late November. Hey, if you want to get a more personal reading, head over to my website. I have all kinds of readings there of different price ranges, different, you know, in-depths, even some astrology reports. Birthday season, a great time to get the year ahead astrology report. It's like 60-some pages. Covers every single thing for the whole year. But the special that I'm running now is that 2026 year ahead personal reading by me. Check it out if you're interested. Hit that like and subscribe. Always appreciate it. One more time, happy birthday. Happy birthday one more time. And next, we're going to check out Capricorn. Alright, Cappies. Let's get a shuffle going for our Capricorn, Sun, Rising, Moon. Anybody Capricorn natives of any type for the second half of November. Got Herbal. Okay. If it's card number 20, if you want to pause the video and look at some of the background words, people comment it's hard to see. I agree on camera, but actually, if you work with this deck, you can see them. They're intentionally meant to be more subtle because the hand, the Hamza, is the main focus of the intention, and this way it's more speaking to your subconscious mind with the subtleness in the background. All right, Herbal. Flora, botanical, plant medicine. A holistic approach may be beneficial at this time. We humans have a long history and deep connection with the plant world. Long before the advent of our modern medicine, shamans and healers the world over worked with plant medicine. Whether used for concoctions, teas, tinctures, salves, or oral medicines, the plant kingdom bestows many gifts of healing, both known and unknown. You may be called to further explore plant medicine at this time. The healing modalities are far. Gosh, I'm getting a little tongue-tied. Sorry. The healing modalities are far and wide-reaching, bestowing many physical, mental, and spiritual benefits. Of course, as always, this is not medical advice. I'm not a doctor. Just a suggestion. Okay, let's get 3 cards for Capricorn. Capricorn, Capricorn, you may discover some new stuff. Yeah, I'm always discovering like new stuff, you know. What did I discover recently? It's some kind of a cream for, like I get arthritis in my knees and different things. And it was some kind of cream, and I said, man, this stuff works great. And it's some kind of botanical, topical stuff, because I'm not really interested in taking a lot of drugs. Me, that's my personal choice, and I'm not telling that for you or anybody else. But yeah, this cream, I don't know what it's called, but boy, it's helping me. I like it. And I don't like any nasty smells or anything either. It doesn't smell bad, and it works great. Okay, let's get some 3 cards here. And it's plant derived. 1, 2, 3. We have the High Priestess. She's been out in that spot before. 2 of Cups, soulmate energy. Wow. And the 2 of Swords. You got double 2s. Wow, triple 2s. Look at this. Actually, alright, look at this. Let me get these on the camera so you can see them better. Without the glare. A little lower. There we go. Perfect. 2, 2, 2, 2, 0. 20. So, wow. The High Priestess is number 2. 2 of Cups, the 2 of Swords, and the Herbal card is number 20, 2, 0. Get out of town. So, 2, I'm not going to be going out anywhere because my car's dead, but if you do play lottery numbers, maybe you want to play those numbers. Triple 2s or 2, 2, 2, or maybe that'll be some kind of a lucky thing for you. But overall, 2 is partnerships. You know, that's what the 2 of Cups is. The 2 of Swords is usually making a decision. The High Priestess is your intuition, communing with your guides, you know, also like respecting yourself. But 2 is two people, 2 partnerships, 2. Some of you have 2 kids. Some of you maybe have 2 places to go for Thanksgiving. If you're trying to decide between 2 places to go for Thanksgiving, I feel like you're going to go to both, or try to go to both if you can. Or some of you, it might be we'll go here for Thanksgiving and then we'll go there for the other holiday or something. It feels like it could be some people trying to work some of that stuff out. I want to tell you, if there's somebody, an elderly woman in your family, and you're considering not going, because they're showing me my grandma, I wasn't able to go to the last family reunion, and then she passed away. I would have seen, you know, it might be your last chance to see her. I'm just saying, it's not going to be for everybody. But if you're considering, well, we'll go here and maybe next year we'll go there. If there's somebody who's, and it does feel like it is a woman, by the way. First, I guess it could be a man for some people, but the specific message I'm getting, it's a woman. And if you're thinking about skipping seeing them, I wouldn't, if you want to see them, because it might be their last time here, okay? But not to be morbid, just to, you know, give you a little heads up. So 2 could be 2 days, 2 weeks. It could be timing. It could be the ages, 2, 20, 22. You know, maybe the ages of you or your kids or somebody else, or when you were that age or something like that. I mean, we could read this all day long, but I just can't get past this 2 thing. I've never seen a reading like this, I don't ever think, where every single card was 2. I mean, you'll get a double, but when it's 4 cards and every single one is a 2, I mean, there's definitely something going on here. Well, the High Priestess is paying attention to your intuition. It might be as far as, you know, this herbal thing, as far as your health stuff goes. 2 of Cups, you know, just traditional tarot means there's a soulmate energy. It's not showing up who or what at this time. But 2 of Cups, hey, maybe you're going to go to the herbal shop and meet the love of your life with the 2 of Cups there. Who knows? Trying to make a decision. I mean, every case is going to be different. I'm not a medical practitioner. Disclaimer all over the place. But if you're trying to make a decision between this or that, maybe try, especially like if it's with the swords, if it's something really invasive where they want to cut you open, a surgery, maybe try some herbal alternatives first, if time allows. And that's, of course, going to be your personal decision. But man, those 2s, if that 2 comes into play, if you got to take route 2, or if there's something where you got to pick between a couple things and there's any kind of number 2s anywhere on it, man, take that number 2. That's going to be something. That's really, really remarkable. Hey, if that doesn't resonate or you don't really care about the 2 thing, Capricorn, then check your rising and moon. But I just couldn't get over that. And I'm a Capricorn too, so I'll be looking out for those 2s. One of the ways, I don't really go to casinos because it's too noisy, but you know, slot machines have numbers on them too. So if you're looking, or tickets, scratcher tickets have numbers. So if it's some kind of gambling thing, I know most Capricorns aren't really big gamblers because they like their money too much to let go of it. But yeah, maybe if it's, you know, give me ticket number 22, you know, or something, or find that slot machine that has that number 22 on it, or take that route. If you're deciding which way we're going to travel to Grandma's house, take route 2. Maybe there's an accident on the other one, you know. But that 2 is, wow, that was pretty wild. Hey Caps, thanks for tuning in. Check out the year ahead. Hit that subscribe and like, that'll help me out. Next we're going to do Aquarius. All right, Aquarius, second half of November. Nirvana. This is card 50. So this is reaching the final state. Card number 50. We've arrived. We've gone through all the lessons of the Holy Hamza deck, and we've arrived at this final thing. If you want to pause the video and look at some of the background stuff, I know sometimes it's hard to pick up on camera. It's meant to be subtle, though. It's not meant to be in your face. It's meant to, you know, if it grabs your attention, it does, you know. Okay, so this is card number 50, Nirvana. Wisdom, completion, enlightenment, a place of peace, a spiritual awakening. The journey of Nirvana, or enlightenment, is never ending. Once we set our foot upon the spiritual path, we traverse many trials and tribulations in our life's journey. The Nirvana card acknowledges that you have reached some point of spiritual mastery, or it is within your grasp at this moment. The card may symbolize a beacon of light, a path to adhere to, a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a state of being that we may fall in and out of, yet we keep striving to maintain. Continue moving through the stages of enlightenment and quest for higher knowledge. Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's get 3 more cards to get some more information here for Aquarius, Sun, Rising, Moon. Anybody with Aquarius. 2 of Swords on the cut. 9 of Cups. There's your wish card. Your wish is coming true. That's also a card of major attainment. The wish card. Nirvana is a card of attainment, and so is the wish card. 9 of Cups on top there. Okay. Well, your wish is coming true. So there's some kind of big thing, a decision that you've been trying to make, or maybe it's somebody else making the decision. Perhaps the King of Cups. The King of Cups is a water sign energy, a Scorpio, a Cancer, or a Pisces. This could also be talking about those grand trines that are happening. The first one's on the 17th exact. Second one's on the 22nd exact. The third one's on the 26th exact. Because this is water energy, the King of Cups. It feels like this King of Cups is part of making this wish come true. You know, the King of Cups also is very spiritual. This could even be some kind of spiritual teacher or something along those lines. Somebody that's really trying to help you, or really trying to, or maybe not trying to help you, but just does by osmosis, my guides are saying. It's interesting. It almost looks like he's blowing, and it looked to me like he was going to blow this candle out or something, and not in a bad way. Or like, remember that movie in Practical Magic where they blow the candles and they light up? Like that, you know. It feels like a connection. It feels like it's connected. Like the wind, or maybe even his words, whatever comes out of his mouth, is connected to this enlightenment somehow. For some of you, well, your wish is coming true. This could be speaking the words that just light your life up. Maybe he makes a decision and calls you and says, guess what, you got the job, we want to hire you. Or you got the house, or you got the whatever you were vying for. Because the 9 of Cups is always your wish is coming true. So if you had a question, or you were wondering when you tuned into this reading, like, well, am I going to get this, that, or the other? Is my wish going to come true? That 9 of Cups says yes. And like I said, yes, indeedy. Wow. I forget who used to say that. That was some TV or movie character, or maybe it's just an old expression. But you can't get better than the wish card, and with Nirvana as well. There's still some decisions to make. We still have some retrograde stuff that we're going through here. But it sure looks like wonderful things, and I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't fall with those grand trines in water for you, Aquarius. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. If you want to get a more in-depth reading, I have the full month one over on my channel, Rock and More Prophetess, but for a more personal reading, I have several different kinds available. The special that I'm running right now, only till the end of this year, is, of course, the Year Ahead reading, the most popular reading of the year. Check it out if you're interested. If you enjoy the content, hit the like and subscribe. It's very much appreciated. Thank you for that. And next we're going to hit up with the sign of Pisces. Well, you are in the Grand Trine all day long, Pisces. The interesting, or whatever, the part of it, it's Saturn in your sign is what's ticking it off. But, I mean, you are water incarnate, my guides just said. You are the water person. So, there's so much water energy. Those grand trines, again, if you didn't catch those dates, they will be, it's active the whole time. Well, here's another thing. On the 27th, Saturn in your sign goes direct, so it's been retrograde since July. So that's going to help you out. That's going to move things forward for you big time. Saturn can be really heavy and weigh you down. Then we got the 17th, the Sun is in the exact to the Grand Trine. 22nd, Mercury fills in that Grand Trine exactly. 26th, Venus moves into there. So wow, this second half could be really substantial for many Pisces. And I say substantial too because that's another thing with Saturn is, it is substantial. It is grounded in the real reality here. If you can see the background words and you want to pause the video, if any of those grab your attention, it may be a personal message for you. But really, you have to get a private reading for a personal message, for real. Okay, 14 is party. Hey, it's number 14. Well, maybe some of you are going to be partying away on the Thanksgiving season here, or as we move into the holiday season if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Or maybe you've got some Scorpio pals and their birthdays coming up, right? Okay, gala, gift, celebration, a whirlwind of festivity, a fun event or party or doings. Your social calendar is full and you're having a blast. We all need some fun and frivolity in our lives, and the party card is a reminder to do just that. While this card may be more of a general mood or tone, it may also refer to a specific event, a birthday, an anniversary, holiday, or other date of significance, like Thanksgiving. If so, the event may be a time frame in which what you are seeking will appear. Sometimes this card may have an element of surprise. An unexpected gift may be headed your way. Unexpected gift, eh, Pisces? I almost said a Scorpio. So could be some Scorpio person that's got some, could be their birthday party, could be somebody have something for you. Let's get 3 cards for our Pisces. I almost said Scorpio again, Pisces. There's only one card here. No, there's a few. Okay, we have High Priestess again in that spot, again on the cut. That's wild. And then we have the 6 of Swords. I believe that's the one where it's traveling, right? And then the Magician again. Get out of town with this Magician. There's only one more card, and it was the Star. I'll put the Star up here for you. We'll use it too. This Magician has been out at least half the readings. And High Priestess has been out in quite a few as well. And the 2 of them have been out in quite a few of them as well. Hey, for some of you, maybe that's you and your partner. You know, when you hang around a group of friends, there's always sort of, I guess, this sounds, for lack of a better term, like the alpha couple, you know? So I would say the Magician and the High Priestess are like the alpha couple, you know? That they host the parties, and most of the people are like their friends, you know, that kind of thing. That came through. I feel like maybe some of you are going to be the alpha couple if you have if you're married or you have a partner and most of your friends are in couples and stuff like that. Maybe you're going to meet somebody, but some of you are going to meet somebody who you finally deem worthy. If you've been single for a long time, you're going to meet some. If you're either one, if you're the Magician, the High Priestess, or whoever. I want to see what the 6 of Swords is. I believe that's the one with the cards, with one of the boat ones where you're going down on the boat, right? But you may be meeting somebody who you finally feel like is worth your effort, or worth your time and effort. And you know what? With Saturn going direct in your sign, yeah, it's that travel card in the traditional tarot. You know, with Saturn going direct in your sign, it could be in trining with Venus and all this stuff. It could be a really you could find that long-term person. I thought that was a travel card. This could be a situation if you're traveling for the holiday or somebody else is traveling. Maybe somebody else is traveling to you. What popped into my mind was that movie, it's one of the few Thanksgiving movies. I don't remember the name of it, but it's Holly Hunter is the sister, and what's the dude's name? Robert Downey Jr. plays the brother, and Anne Bancroft was the mother in that one. But, you know, the brother comes home for Thanksgiving and brings one of his buddies with him, you know, and she ends up hooking up with him or whatever. So it could be something like that, you know. It might not even be that it's necessarily, maybe you're not going anywhere, but somebody else travels from out of town and brings somebody with them. I feel like that's for sure for somebody here. And these parties, celebrations, you know, many of you know if you watch these videos regularly, my parents owned a bar my entire life. I grew up practically in the bar, right? But knowing the bar business like I do, there's about 3 big holidays of the year. There's St. Patrick's Day, New Year's Eve, and the night before Thanksgiving. The night before Thanksgiving is one of the party nights of the year. I mean, I don't drink anymore. I don't even rarely go to a bar. Just sometimes I'll go see a friend's band or go to a jam or open mic, but it's so rare anymore that I would even go to a bar. But there's a lot of parties going on. Even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, if you're in the States, the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, that's a big, huge, it's again, one of the big 3. I know this from being in the bar business all those years. So the night before Thanksgiving, if you're invited, even if I know Pisces, you kind of, a lot of times you want to be, you're kind of quiet, alone types and all that. But, you know, if you wanted to go out, you might meet somebody that is of the caliber of what you're looking for. And that I pulled that star out, and the star is guiding you and giving you those blessings and bringing you together with whatever. It doesn't, if you're not looking for a romance, it doesn't have to be that. But maybe it's the magician. Maybe you're looking for somebody that could help you with your business, and bam, there's that magician, and he knows just what to do. They know what to do. They've got the connections. They could be, for some of you, this is like sort of like an agent type, or somebody who's gonna, or where you're the creative one, and this person's gonna, they're the person that knows how to make how the wheels turn. That's what my guides are showing me. They're showing me like gears, and they're saying they know how the wheels turn. So they're saying they know how the sausage is made, and that's not a good thing necessarily. What comes to mind right away, my great-grandfather, who actually I own, this is the house I own. It was my great-grandparents and my grandmother's, and I bought it in the 90s. But he worked in the meat industry. This part where I live used to be the meat district way back then. And he always said, here's a little tip if any of you eat meat out there, don't eat the sausage in the summer, because he says bugs and flies and everything, go on it, ground right in. They don't care. So that I always remember that. So I still, when I don't really eat, I do eat some meat, but not a lot. But sausage, that stuck with me my entire life. Don't eat sausage in the summer. Well, these days too, who knows when it was made? It could have been made, or could have came from another country even, where it's warm all the time. But they just showed me that image. It's weird. Yeah, but go out and celebrate. Go around, be people. There could be some major connection or some major big thing that pops up for you, Pisces. Hey, if you haven't watched, if you want more information, go to my channel, because I have a much better, not better, but longer, more in-depth reading for November. And if you want one for yourself, go to my website, because I have a whole bunch of different options. The special I'm running now, of course, is that 2026 year ahead, only available for a limited time. The most popular reading of the year. Everybody have a great second half of November, and a great holiday. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. I'll be back again soon with another reading. Till then.